Okay, so in this video, be I will be explaining um how to change the script and how to change the topping if you have more samples and less staining, or there's some modification that I already made. But also it depends on your experiment design. Um, you should know that what can you do to design the system using OC-300. Okay, so for example here, this is different port from port 1 to port 12, and it connected to different solution. But of course you can change some of them to increase the number of the samples or decrease the number of staining, for example. So here we have port 1 and port 3, sample 1, sample 2. So this is two light, two sample mean two light, and one stain. Port 3 is stain 3. So it means they will have one, for example, cyber green or cyber green with BI and two sample. And the other like chlorine, quenching, or pure water, they are fixed. You cannot change them. Air to mix the solution with fixed, FCM fixed. So it means there will be one, two, three more port that you can use for different purpose. So chamber 1 to chamber 3 means is similar to the like the cuvette you use to mix the samples after staining. So for example, if I want to use only chamber 1 and two staining in one line, I will just pump the solution to chamber 1. It means port 9, and then mix them here. And I can make use of chamber 3 and chamber 3 for 2 to 3 for different purpose. For example, I increase one more staining here, I add one more sample here, right? So what I'm trying to say is you can somehow redesign the tool to increase the number of samples or increase the number of staining. But when you do that, you have to keep in mind about the tube length. For example, the incubation chamber usually length like only 40 centimeter. Uh, so when you want to samples or staining, you have to increase the length. For example, the stain will use 50 centimeter and samples here 80 or even higher. So you have to change the length by cutting the new tube and connecting new thing, new tubing, right? When you change this, it means there's some changes in your setup. Like for example, okay, I will explain using this Excel file. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so these files, I make some modification here. I think this is the original one. Okay, so in this file, they calculate the volume in each tube with different length. Okay, you can see here. So by clicking each cells here, you will see what they really mean. Um, length of the per measurement 20 minutes, sample tube for example 120. So they will calculate the depth volume. It means the water always inside the tube, right? Sorry, use this. So if sample tube 80, then the depth volume will be zero point 0.4 ml. So why do we have to care about the depth volume? Because whenever you pump the new samples or the new solution, you have to replace the depth volume because it's the quality of the water in the depth volume will be different with your samples, right? So if you increase this, it means the depth volume will increase. Okay. Um, so here they calculate like if you use two stain and how how much the dead volume will be. Da, 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 da. Sustain. This is the total of the dead volume. So they have to calculate the total solution they have to prepare. So it means this is the total volume they have to be recorded. Okay. And if 7 days, then how much? For 24 hours, how much water we have to or solution we have to prepare. Okay. Um. So I think this is something for later. So first of all, this is for calculating the total volume you have to prepare. But the second thing related to the dead volume is in the script. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't have the script here, but in the script, there will be some command like read, replace the dead volume. So you have to make sure that you replace the dead volume completely. When you increase the sample to, it means you have to increase the dead volume by, um, changing some command in the script, right? So you have to understand, really understand how the script work to change it, because it can be a lot of mistake, lots of error during running script if you do it incorrectly. So this is for later to try to understand the script where you should replace and modify the script. Then you can do more modification in your experimental design. Okay, I think it's pretty much everything I want to explain.